I remember, I look back and every week or every time I think about it now, I go, why didn't you just ask him something? Like the first thing that comes to it's funny. The first thing that always comes to mind is like when we were sitting backstage waiting for a pre-tape or waiting for a live shot. Let me just going, hey, so what really happened with Nails? And I don't know why that's the first thing that comes to mind, but every time I think back, it's always like, hey, what really happened with Nails? And then it's followed up with, tell me about you trying out the Shawn Michaels entrance. Those are the two things that always pop in my head. It's never a, how did you beat Eric Bischoff?
Closely followed by, why did Randy Savage never come back?
I don't want to go that deep. That deep I don't want to go. But it's always like the stupid shit that happened in wrestling that I want to know about. Hey, how long did it take to put up Ultimate Warrior's symbol pyro? I need to know that. Did you make him wear that hat and Raw? Like that's the thing. Like I've always been. I love weird things in wrestling. The WrestleCrap book is easily one of my favorite wrestling books of all time. Just to look back at that stuff and go, how did this happen? So I always like the funny oddball moments in wrestling. I've always been a fan of, and so, but I think about that all the time. Of like, why didn't I pick his brain? I think it literally was like, I was afraid of him going, all right, get away from me, kid. I never wanted that reaction. And he wouldn't have. I guarantee he would have told me about Nails. I guarantee he would have opened up to me about Nails.
Why didn't you do it?
I'm so mad. Now you're making me more mad at myself.
I know, I'm mad at you.
I could have had a real good Nails scoop.
We could have got it here.
Something that no one's ever had is a good
I've never told anyone, but in 2007, he told me what happened with Nails.
So Nails just started doing signings in the U.S. last year.
You asked him yet? Is that what...
I need to. Now I need to ask Nails. All right, Nails. First off, I saw him at WrestleCon. I was legitimately afraid of him. He's got to be 60, and I'm still terrified of Nails.
He's terrifying. He is.
Terrifying.
I mean,
Nails, if you're out there, I need to know what happened.
I mean, I guess the thing with Vince was because you were 19 or 20 at that point, like, if I was 19 or 20 and put in that position, I'd barely be able to do it. Never mind think of weird WrestleCrap things to ask Vince. But did you, at the end of it, do you think by having the angle with him on TV that kind of made the relationship easier going forward, or do you think it would have been the same without it?
I think it made him trust me, like that I could pull things off, and that I kind of, I don't know, man. No one deserves to be there. I truly feel no one deserves to be there. There's a million wrestlers. You're lucky to be there. I truly feel everyone is. It's not like the deserving of TV time. No one deserves TV time. You earn it, and I truly feel that way. Like, sure, they give it to some people. No one's deserved any of that. I'm not deserving to be able to still do this today. I'm lucky to be able to do this today. I truly, truly feel that way at 38 years old. I've accepted that.
Let's move on to, because the WrestleMania match that was supposed to be Fit and Vince,
yeah,
which would have been great to watch.
Yo, can you imagine how that would have been the main event? I truly feel that would have been the main event. You know, nothing is going to nothing's going to outshine a Vince Mania match. The build to it would have been insane. The amount of TV time we would have had for that, it would have been even more than we did. Like, just thinking about back on it now, it would have been 20 minutes. Definitely wouldn't have been first. It would have been a bloodbath. They both would have bled. I would have probably splashed Vince at the end of it.
Of course.
At WrestleMania. God damn it.
But you end up doing the match with JBL.
I just had JBL as an interview, and we talked about that match and like how it really meant a lot to him because he always looked up to Fit as a performer and as a worker. And for me, it was like, man, this is gonna be great. Me, two guys just beating the hell out of each other, and it was. And like I truly feel it's a forgotten Mania match because it was first, and it was like, I just feel it's the forgotten Mania match that should never be forgotten because it was so good. And looking back on it, Fit does a dive to the outside. Fit doesn't do dives. He did a dive to the outside. The trash can spot, the infamous trash can throwing at me, which wasn't planned at all.
It looked great.
It would have killed me. I literally talked to John about it on the podcast, and I go, you know, thank God I looked like last second. He goes, oh, you'd still be there. He was whipping that thing, and thank God I just looked up last second and I could turn my shoulder. but it's a memory of that match. It's like it's one of the things that again gets brought up to me constantly. Is by the time JBL threw that trash can, he said, "Yeah, barely." So it's just that was the first Mania. It was my second Mania, but I got an entrance that year because the first year I came off from under the ring. That year I got an entrance, and man, it was amazing, absolutely amazing.
I mean, because with JBL, there's stories from early in his career of maybe him not being great to people or whatever. But by the time that you were there, I felt like he'd mellowed in terms of like he wasn't. I mean, I don't know. Maybe had he mellowed?
He still showed old JBL isms, but with me he was awesome. And I think again because he saw me with Fit, and he goes, if Fit, I think the mindset was if Fit's keeping him around, this kid around, he's got to be okay.
I got to ask you about the Raw guest host. The best. There were so many of them. I want to know the most memorable ones, good and bad.
Oh, it's good. Just had Chavo. It drops as of today. It drops next week. And I said to Chavo, I said, "Hey man, that era was so good for us because whenever there was a guest host announced, we knew we were gonna have something with him." And it was I have a basement behind my bar in my basement. I have just signed memorabilia from the guest host, like in a big like shadow box all over. I have Mike Tyson gloves. I have Floyd Mayweather gloves. I have Mike Tyson signed The Hangover DVD. I have a Bob Barker book. I gave Mike Tyson the Hangover. He goes, "It's the first one of these I've ever signed." I go, "What? This is great." So yeah, it's like all that stuff where I have a Shaq signed basketball. The biggest letdown I always joke about now is Vern Troyer. Like he was a hero of mine, someone I looked up to. Down comedy. Broke him. Got his ass. I'm taller than him, especially now.
Tough crowd.
Yeah. But he
I mean, there was ready-made stuff to do there.
So he was supposed to host Little People's Court. He was supposed to be the judge of Little People's Court. Exactly. This is the reaction it would have been. It would have been the best. It was supposed to be the judge of Little People's Court, and he goes, "Doesn't work for me."
Was Hogan prepping him?
Exactly. He wanted the focus to be on him being the midget. It broke my heart. It broke my heart. And then we ended up doing like a backstage thing still of like him and I just like fist bumping or something, I think. And I was like, man, you little prick. Like, fuck. Yeah, exactly. It would have been so good. And him as the judge of that. I mean, the Little People's Court still is like something that is near and dear to me. Like, it was just fun. It's just one of those fun segments that I always look back on and go, "Oh, that was a good time."
It feels like if he didn't take himself as seriously, it could have just been this really fun thing. If you
would have been great. They would have, like them messing with him with all the short jokes and that, and him just rebuttaling back. It would have been amazing.
In terms of the guest hosts, were there any who had no clue what was going on?
Yes, so many.
Who sticks?
Al Sharpton, Reverend Al Sharpton, did not give a shit to be there. I don't think he ever watched wrestling. I don't think he knew what WWE was. I don't know why he was there. He did not want to be there. He did. It was literally like we were upsetting him. Like we were making his day worse. But then I like that. But then compared to like Shaq, who was just amazing. Mike Tyson, who was just incredible. Bob Barker made himself even bigger of a star to the WWE fans because of how good Bob Barker was. And he was such an amazing human. Ozzy was so awesome. I have a book and an album signed for me and my dad. He brought me on the bus to introduce me to his wife and FaceTime his son. Like, it was so cool. Like, man, there's so many fun ones. Macaulay Culkin was great. Seth Green was awesome. Like, Reverend Al Sharpton is the one that stood out. Like, why are you here? You don't want to be here at all.
Because with Bob Barker, you don't assume that Bob Barker was watching primetime wrestling back in the
Hell no, he wasn't.
But he seemed to just get it.
He got it. He's a showman. He just got it, and he wanted to be part of it. He wanted to make it better. And man, him and Jericho stuff, that's the main. When you talk about Raw guest hosts, that's the clip you play, is him and Jericho.
I want to ask you about the Trump appearances, because he did WrestleMania 23, Battle of the Billionaires. He then bought Raw at one point.
Then he refunded all the tickets, and that was in Green Bay. All my friends, I'm getting them comp tickets. And they're turning these tickets in. And they're getting paid for these comp tickets.
Quite right. That's fair.
And I'm going, guys.
You got to respect that.
But he was around. He loved being around. He loved being around. He loved being around wrestling. He loved being around WWE. He would go to it when they held at Trump Plaza. He would always be there, obviously. And he was a WWE fan.
Were you surprised that he took the stunner?
No, he's a showman. He is just like Vince in that way. He gets the gig. He gets it.
And was he like if he was backstage at WrestleMania, or if he was backstage when he bought?
Always approachable. Okay. Always approachable. Always would give you the time of day. He was great.
I mean, yeah, it's strange now that there's just kind of. It's, you know, he's never mentioned. He's never, even when he was. I mean, we know why, but you know, it's strange that he was, in a different way. He was someone who was part of WWE, in a big moment, and then they can't use it.
He's in the Hall of Fame.
No.
Oh, you're not gonna hit on that. We're not gonna. That's what we skirt around.
Let's talk about the Celebrity Wing Hall of Fame. Who should we get rid of? I mean, Drew Carey, no offense, but come on. He did one Royal Rumble spot.
But it's memorable, man.
Cyndi Lauper, she should be in.
Oh, for sure.
She's the one.
When I heard she wasn't in, I was shocked. I thought for sure she was in.
Because she did an appearance on Raw with Wendy Richter at one point.
And then she had the huge stuff at Mania back in the day. Like, oh yeah, for sure. That's shocking. That's a surprising one. Who else should be in? Tyson.
He's in.
He is.
He is
right.
in.
He is in.
Yeah, he is
in.
Bad Bunny. Put him in.
Chavo was going to finally help me in a match. And we were going to be babyface buddies. We were going to be buddies finally.
The feud that will never end.
Yes. We're going to finally be friends. And that day, I was told, hey, we're changing this. We're going a different way. So, okay, great. Triple H comes up to me. He goes, hey, starting next week, you're gonna start working with us. You're gonna be with us. I remember literally saying, with who? And then he goes, Sean and I? I go, oh, DX. I literally look back and then I go, you Nimrod. Like, with who? Oh, man. And then it was just like one thing after another, just doing a moment. Again, I look back and I go, you idiot for not taking this in. You got pedigreed by Triple H in the middle of MSG. Did not think about it back then, how big that was. Now I look back and I go, okay, that's a moment. Then, like, we do the Little People's Court, and then I'm with them. And, like, I remember when it finally hit me that I was with them and, like, how cool it was when I got to do pyro with them. Because then I was X-Pac in my mind. I didn't have sex with China, but I became X-Pac.
You've not had a porn video, but you're...
Got him again. I remember doing the pyro and going, this is the greatest moment of my life. I had a cage match with Vince. Shouldn't have happened. I was part of WWE. Shouldn't have happened. I'm now doing pyro. Shouldn't be happening. This is incredible. And then they give me glow sticks. And then I get to throw said glow sticks. And then at international tours and house shows, I get to see parents on their phones, not paying attention to the show, up in their upper bowl, and their kids just loving, like, yeah, there's the little guy with DX, yeah! And I see the parent just on their phone, not paying attention. I would take these glow sticks and just... Those were my targets. And I was so good with these glow sticks. I was so on point with these damn glow sticks. I would just load my pockets with them just so I had extra ammo to hit these parents. It's the best day of my life.
So by this point, you're 23. Did you ask Triple H any questions behind the scenes?
No. No, because that one would have been scarier than the Vince one.
Why did you wait 23 seconds to pin Booker T at WrestleMania 19?
Come on now.
So
Hey, come on now. No, I would never have asked that.
What was Triple H like to work with? Because at this point he's a wrestler, but he's also behind the scenes guy.
Yeah, and that's why I didn't ask anything. That's why I was like, he's kind of my boss already. I mean, everyone saw the writing on the wall. Everyone did at that point. But he was a boss. I remember hearing the story. Triple H told me, he goes, because I think I asked him, like, how did this all happen? Why did you pick me to be part of this? And he goes, Sean came up to me when we were rehearsing the tag match with me and Chavo and Masters and someone. I forget who was all in that. Sean goes, hey, my kids really like him. And Triple H goes, Chavo? Sean goes, no, Hornswoggle. And Triple H goes, oh yeah. He goes, and Sean goes, what if he was part of us? That day changed. That's when it changed. Yeah. It's like, awesome. I'm really glad he said that because I had DX shirts. I had Pyro. I did international tours with them. It's crazy to think about. Luck. Not skill. There's nothing I did that day that made me earn that spot. Nothing.